The following is unedited trail footage with no attempt to be entertaining. See the link in the description for my Kennedy Meadows overview and guide video. So let's see, Beach Ridge, I think I said, right? By the way, that trail start, is that the regroup point? The start of the trail where we just stopped, that's the current regroup point, right? I like this. There's whoops on the single track. Yeah, this seems really good from all the videos, and so far it's basically what I expected. I think I may have seen that number. I don't remember. I just know that it's certainly far up or high up. My ports? Oh, the forks, the bleeder on the forks, you mean? Yeah, I forgot to bring the tool, unfortunately. No, but it's just the Torx of the right size. I think it'll be okay, it's not that critical, I think. Are you within visual still? Are you within visual range? Do you see me? Okay. Should I go faster? Cool. Log coming up. When I'm running like this, no, I tend to lock them out when I'm doing like uphills, like steep uphills. How about yours? Yeah, I mean, you do want to not be too, like it's a common mistake, right, to have them too bent, and that does make it more work. You want to have them like just slightly bent, just barely not locked, so to speak. Oh, interesting. probably a little more tricky in the other direction, I think. Yeah, I'm being careful because I'm not used to this, and I don't want to go down the side. Yeah. Especially when it's like covered with dust, right? Trying to make sure to lean in so that if I do screw up, I'm gonna fall in the right direction. All right, more rocks. It was easy enough to just slowly cruise through though. There you are. Cool, cool. Let me know if it changes. I'm not trying to race. Oh, you're staying for tomorrow? Okay. All right, so how about we update the regroup point to this? I assume as well. So that was a regroup point now, right? That was a regroup point? New regroup. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just don't want to, otherwise it's like, well, maybe he thought that was a regroup point, you know. Yeah. 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 Definitely woodsy, but I like that because it's not what I normally get to ride. Like really my first time ever riding woodsy terrain was just a few weekends ago at Hollister Hills. Because most of the stuff in SoCal is, you know, more dusty, open kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, luckily it's not warm, so I'm not worried about water. We'll see how long this is going to take, given this kind of terrain, given that it's a 40-mile loop. Here we have a big one. Line choice, I took the left. squirrel. Okay, gets gnarly here a little bit. All right. Yeah, again, I'm just taking it extra. Even though I could go faster, I just don't want to risk it. Oh. Bit of a rock on that up incline. With me? Bit of a large boulder with a dip after. But yeah, so with the legs, if you're unsure how much you're bending them, I would just lock them out and then just feel yourself slightly going away from the lock and get used to that position. Not that I'm an expert, but you know. I love the whoops. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think those are natural or like made intentionally? I feel like they look made. Or do you think those are natural? Okay. Interesting. By the way, whenever we're chatting and it's obvious that we're talking back and forth, I'm going to assume that you're with me. So I'm going to reset the clock on like checking in. Yeah, for sure. bit of a root sticking out a little bit in that turn. Oh yeah, you mentioned, yeah. Yeah. Indeed. I try to keep it simple with the bike, but there's always some pending thing. Although I haven't really had it broken much, but it's more just something. Whether it's, oil change, or I want to get new handguards or something that I need to install, or whatever it is. And I'm still doing the 45-hour services, branch sticking into the trail a bit. I'm still doing the 45 hours with the dealers. And so I don't remember the full list, but I haven't, I'm slowly growing my, what I do myself, and I don't yet sort of check spark plugs, valving, stuff like that. I have started checking the clutch plates, but I might ask them to check the careful, it's tight with the logs, to check the bumpers inside of the clutch hub. Haven't done that yet. Things like that, and I don't know if whenever I will ever start working on suspension. Like that might be something that I leave the suspension people. I'm just adding one thing at a time, slowly, in terms of what I do, So 73 hours or something now, and something like 1,500 miles. Nah, it's a 2025. New group app point, I propose. Whoa. I wasn't careful enough with my front, yeah. That looks like the more fun path. Which is what I was looking at, which is why I crashed. Yeah. Whew. Okay. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Like it looked like they had placed two logs at the entrance. That's true. I kind of wonder I don't know what the rules are, because I wouldn't mind helping to maintain trails, but I don't think you're allowed to just a random person to go and cut stuff, right? So Roger, stopping. I like riding soft, but if you're not paying attention and it suddenly becomes soft, that's what happened back there. So far, I don't think we've gone through anything where I feel like I would be sketched trying to go in the other direction. I'm not really expecting anything like that on these trails. Like I feel like I haven't seen a single thing in the videos that seem like you would get stuck or not be able to come back. I see, I don't remember that well. You may be right though. Okay, Beach Ridge, new regroup point. Good practice, like, because there's so much rocks and stuff. It's a little more active in terms of line choice than most of the single track that I've ridden. There's just always some decision to make. Oh, I think I saw the same video. I didn't actually watch it carefully, but I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, competition is always good. And it's good when it's competition on that. It's not just the latest and greatest cool thing from, you know, the competition or whatever, and actually pushing down, forcing them to be cost effective. All right. Yeah. Yeah, and they've got some really good battery stuff going on. I think it's one of the Zeekers or whatever that has like the charge rate is really great, up to like 80% state of charge. So like you would get like 10 minutes or so to go from 0 to 80, or might have been even less, which is starting to get to the almost as low as kind of stopping for gas, right? So yes, it's only for road trips, unless you live in an apartment and you're doing that regularly, right? Well, I mean, depends. Some apartments have, but it's hit and miss, right? So yeah, I mean, I don't get range anxiety, but I will say that there is a difference, which is that if you don't pay attention, unless you're in like a super remote area, if you are realizing you're starting to run out of gas, there's usually a gas station for like within 10 miles, which is not necessarily the case for charging. But yeah, I don't get range anxiety. It's more about like how much time do you spend. And the other part, if I'm with my wife, for example, if it's a 5-minute stop, then we can go wherever to take a break or have food or whatever. Then you open up options as opposed to sort of eating while charging or something like that, and then you're limited. Some rocks. I'm holding on once I reach the end of these things. There we go. Whew. Need some blood in my fingers anyway. When it gets really technical, I still have that problem that new beginners have, like gripping too much. I usually am good when it's not gnarly, but if it's like motocross track or gnarly, then I do start having that issue. Interesting. So I think right line, preferably without stalling. I really need to do better at being aggressive and feathering and not stalling. Speaking of that, there we go. I'm so bad. Keep stalling for no reason. I think I'm being too careful with my clutch. I should just let it go a little bit. Two-stroke guys will just say get a two-stroke. Yes. Yeah, I measured the clutch pack not too long ago, so I'm going to be curious to measure it again and see how fast it's actually going. Because my main issue is I don't want to be, oh, the clutch is going and then I'm out on the trail. I want to know ahead of time. So I've started measuring basically. So I don't have a good gut feeling for like the way I ride, how fast am I wearing it down, you know? But I have a clutch pack sitting around at home for whenever it's time. Or not a clutch pack, but clutch plates. Or is that? Yeah, both, yeah. You tend to get like discoloration and stuff bending on the others first before the friction plates. You good? Cool. I forgot to give you the radio, by the way, the actual radio. Do you want to stop and... Okay, sounds good. Yeah. When I started learning sand, that was an issue. Like I couldn't force myself to not look down. like I had to spend like half an hour, like practicing just like going straight through sand and forcing myself to look up so that I eventually got comfortable. Yeah. Big rock on the incline. No, I just use, I mean, I have the odometer always, it's on the bike, so it's always on. I don't really track the individual, like what I do is I tend to, like if it's an individual trail, I'll just use the GPX track. If it's bike maintenance, I just check it regularly and I just note down a logbook so I know hours and miles over time basically, and I can see what's happening. Right. Yeah. Pretty sure you won't have any. If you could do, I mean, I'm assuming when you say 60 is your limit, that's not you're actually running out. That's your limit of like what you're comfortable doing. Yeah. Yeah. Me neither. That is actually one form that I'm not that interested in trying. Like, I'm interested in a lot of stuff. Like, eventually I'll try trials, hard enduro, like motocross, trail riding. Like, I'm interested in a bunch of stuff, but super high speed desert stuff, I don't know if I'm that like interested in it. Plus, it's probably more dangerous anyway. Yeah. I do like sand, but that's not necessarily desert racing. So yeah. Plus you don't have to go 50 or 60 just because it's sand, especially on a small bike. I mean, even on a big adventure bike, like 20, 25 is good enough to be comfortable in sand. Whoops. Yeah, this is great. It's just far away. Yeah, I got skittish there in between the, what was it? I think it was a rock and a log or something. So I ended up stopping because I was skittish. Had I just gone through confidently, it would have been fine. Yeah. Okay. So you had a what, sorry? Oh, I see. Soft turn coming up. Okay. You did them or you watched it? Yeah. Right. Right. I guess we're going slow because I had that feeling of like, am I accidentally in third gear? And I had to double check, and now it's like, no, I'm in second. We're just going fairly slow. Yeah. All right. Holding up for a bit. I see you coming. Okay, map check. I think this is where we're making a left.